Hi, I'm Kate Warren here with another communication skills tip for you. Today's tip is all about group dynamics, how groups tend to behave. Did you know that there are set patterns that groups will tend to follow? And by getting really good at reading those patterns, you'll be able to understand how to play to your strengths, how to increase your effectiveness in groups, and where you're the person in charge in groups, how to kind of pace the group to get it from where it is to where you want it to be. So today we're going to look at how groups make decisions. And I learned this fascinating structure for thinking about group decision making from the wonderful Michael Grinder. So if you enjoy the information I share with you in a moment, you'll definitely want to check out his work. Michael's of the view that groups make decisions by going through 4 distinct phases. First, there's a gathering phase of gathering lots and lots of information, deciding what information to gather, getting out there and assembling it all together. Second, the group moves into an evaluating phase where it considers the information and makes meaning out of it. Third, the group moves into a deciding phase where it reaches a conclusion about what to do in respect of the information that's been gathered and evaluated. And then fourth, the group implements the decision. So that sounds really simple, doesn't it? And yet, how often have you spent time in a meeting where no decision's been made at all? The group's just done gathering and evaluating, or just evaluating. Or maybe other times you've been in meetings where a decision's been made too soon without adequate information or without adequate evaluation of the information that's there. And this is how decision-making groups becomes kind of not necessarily dysfunctional, but less effective than it could be. So what does this mean for you? Well, as you think about gathering, evaluating, deciding, and implementing, ask yourself, which of those 4 areas do I feel most comfortable with? When we're in the meeting and we're gathering, evaluating, deciding, or implementing, when am I feeling most emotionally comfortable with what we are doing in the room? And you know, some of you will be really happy with gathering, maybe evaluating, some of you may be happy with implementing, and others of you, like me, will always be keen to get on to deciding and will feel frustrated and impatient until the deciding phase is reached. Now, in my work with very senior corporate clients, what I often notice is that my clients, like me, are keen to get to the deciding phase, and so their impatience tends to show. But let's remember that the gathering, evaluating, and implementing phases are really valuable too. So if you're one of those deciding people, recognize that your impatience to get to a decision is a leadership skill, and sometimes it can cause you to be out of sync with the group, especially if you're not the person in charge. That feeling of urgency will transmit itself to everyone else, and you may end up getting out of rapport with the rest of the group. So, first of all, notice which 1 or 2 phases do you feel most comfortable with. Then, understand that's where you can naturally, easily, really add value in any group that you're part of. It's where you'll just be playing to your strengths and doing what comes obviously and naturally to you. So you're going to want to keep in mind, you know, when you're sitting in a meeting and it's the evaluating phase and that's your strength, to think, oh, here's where I can really start to help. So keep that little kind of light switching on in your brain as you're sitting in groups. And to do that means cultivating an awareness of what phase is the group in now. So something you can really do to increase your intelligence about group dynamics is to kind of, you know, if this is the meeting, lift yourself above it slightly and consider, in what phase is this group right now and how can I contribute to it? I hope this has been helpful for you. There's plenty more free communication resources on my website, including the free e-course, 6 Keys to Great Communication. So you'll find a lot more there to help you if this is the kind of material that interests you. Until next time, bye-bye.